All right, let's just jump right into this. We're about to unpack an idea that might just flip everything you thought you knew about love. So get ready for this one. God's love will hurt your feelings. And that pain, well, it might just be the thing that saves your life.
I mean, have you ever stopped to think about this? What if the very thing our culture calls love is actually the reason so many people are staying stuck? And what if God's real, authentic love doesn't always feel good, doesn't always sound nice, and yeah, sometimes it genuinely hurts? This is the big question we're tackling.
So where does all this confusion come from? Well, it all starts with our definition. See, we've kind of created our own version of love, one that puts comfort above everything else. And spoiler alert, it's a version God never really signed off on.
And this slide, man, this really breaks it down. On one side, you have our cultural idea of love, right? Its main goals are protect feelings at all costs, avoid conflict like the plague, and never ever offend anyone. But then you look at divine love, and it's playing a completely different game. It's this powerful combination of kindness and justice. Its goal isn't to avoid a fight, but to pursue what's right. It doesn't ignore sin just to be nice. No way. It confronts it, because that's where healing begins.
And this is the absolute kicker right here. This comfy, cozy, let's not rock the boat version of love that we're all so used to, it doesn't come from the Bible. It's a product of our culture, and it's designed to make us feel good and not necessarily to help us be good.
Okay, so what does this divine love actually look like in practice? Well, for the perfect model, we have to look no further than Jesus himself. And his example is, well, it's pretty challenging for us. Let's just be real for a second. If we're being totally honest with ourselves, based on his words and his actions, Jesus probably wouldn't fit in at most of our modern churches. Why? Because he was constantly saying things that stepped on people's toes, that made them incredibly uncomfortable, and that forced them to confront some very hard truths. I mean, he looked directly at the most respected religious leaders of his day, the people everyone looked up to, and he called them hypocrites. And he didn't stop there. He told them they were leading people completely astray, calling them blind guides.
And maybe the most jarring one of all, he said they were like whitewashed tombs, all clean and pretty on the outside, but full of death and decay on the inside. Now that doesn't sound very nice, does it? But it was perfect love. Because Jesus wasn't trying to protect their feelings, he was trying to rescue their souls.
Think about it like this, okay? Let's use a simple analogy. If you saw someone you cared about just walking, completely oblivious, straight toward the edge of a massive cliff, what would be the most loving thing you could possibly do in that moment? This illustrates the difference perfectly. The nice response, our cultural response, might be to stay silent. You wouldn't want to offend them or disrespect their journey, right? But the truly loving response, it's to shout. It's to warn them. It's to run over and grab them and pull them back, even if it's rough, even if it hurts them a little in the process, because the goal is to save their life.
You see, a love that protects feelings over truth isn't really love at all. We should call it what it is: negligent love. It's a failure to act that allows someone to just continue walking toward destruction, all in the name of being nice.
Now hold on. This doesn't mean that divine love is just harsh and reckless all the time. That's a complete misunderstanding. It's not one or the other. It's a perfect and absolutely necessary balance.
Here is the divine formula, right here. It's justice combined with kindness. And the goal, the destination of that combination, is always righteousness, making things right with God. This is the pattern we see again and again and again.
This pattern starts at the very beginning of the story. Take Adam and Eve. When they sinned, God brought justice. He judged their sin, and there were serious consequences. But in the very next moment, what did he do? He showed kindness. He clothed them. He gave them a promise for the future. That's the divine blueprint: justice and kindness, always working together.
And this balance is everything. If you take away justice and only offer kindness and comfort, people stay broken. Nothing actually changes. But if you only bring justice without any kindness, people just get crushed and destroyed by it. It's only when you have both present that real, lasting transformation can actually happen.
So this brings it all back home to us. We are all faced with a fundamental choice, not just in how we treat other people, but in what we're willing to receive for ourselves. This is why so many people today are completely and totally stuck. They're basically drowning in encouragement, but without any correction. They're getting acceptance without any transformation. They have received a lifetime of comfort, but have been starved of the truth that could actually set them free.
And tragically, the few people in their lives who dared to tell them the truth, the ones who are actually practicing divine love, they were probably labeled as judgmental, harsh, or unloving. But in reality, they may have been the only ones who were loving them enough to try and pull them back from that cliff's edge.
So here's the final question, the one you have to answer for yourself. Do you want to be liked, or do you want to truly love? Because practicing real, divine love will absolutely cost you. It will cost you comfort, popularity, and the approval of others.
But it might just be the thing that helps someone turn back to God. Maybe that someone is a friend, a family member, or maybe that someone is you. Because at the end of the day, you have to remember this. God's love doesn't exist just to comfort you. It exists to transform you. Even if, and sometimes especially if, it hurts.